have here Team Eclipse, and we have Team Ikannot even. So we've got Ross, DJ, the one, Intention. I think that we've seen a little bit of ripples from this team here pretty soon. And we're going to be starting out here on Humpback Rainmaker.
Really excited to see what we're going to see out of Eclipse right now. I think they are definitely one of the greatest teams out there right now. They've really, like, dare I say, made a lot of good waves. And so right now we already see from the start right here, they're going to get that pop, immediately get map control.
Good clue. That's 3 down already. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we've got the Forge as the last one up, trying to hold down. You see Argo throwing out some bubbles, just try to put some pressure. They already go away.
Yeah, I think you can already see like that nerf that recently just happened in the bubbles just came in right there. Those bubbles usually wouldn't go down so fast like that, but already they just, Eclipse already took them out, and they're able to keep continuing this push.
The pressure is insane here. You see that burst, the bomb rush immediately coming in, popping it so quickly. Oh, a little unfortunate there.
Right now, we're going to watch Ikannot even start to get map control back. They finally have the Rainmaker. They've gotten Eclipse out of their spawn. Yeah, so now they're going to try to get map control back in mid.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is really going to be trying to coordinate these specials. We see the one go down to the Stingray, always a good option to have. They're going to have to coordinate this push really well.
Right now, I'm kind of concerned about their move to use 2 of their specials out of the gate already just to get Eclipse out of mid, because now that they have nothing to push this choke point into their spawn. But right now, it looks like Argo's pushing forward a bit.
That solo push.
Got a bomb rush out from the one who is currently down, have 3 down on Ikannot's side. Right, one's gonna take it to the left. The left could be a bit of a weird and awkward place. Like every map has that weird and awkward place to try to get the Rainmaker from. I think this is definitely one of them, so this is a good move on Eclipse's part.
You see Meep go down there to Ross. Ross coming in, trying to put the pressure on, taking down the bubbles already. Oh, so close.
Right now, Eclipse just have a super strong defense, and unfortunately, Ikannot is just unable to deal with the pressure that Eclipse is putting up. Hopefully, we can see a bit more coordinated special usage. Right now, the Stingray is going to come really handy here, but I feel like they may have used it a bit too early.
Yep. I think we're going to need to see a lot more coordination between them. They need to be calling that out. We've also we see each time that they finally get mapped back, they immediately all go down, and Eclipse is able to take it back immediately.
Ikannot starting to make what was looking like a really good push as they had gotten around 2 people down, but Ross with that really clutch flank around the back, as you would think a roller would do, pretty much saving Eclipse right there. Good job on his part.
Right, we see down 2 down for Eclipse and being pushed back a little bit. Meep with the tri-slosher here, got armor ready. And again, they seem to be popping them a little bit early. They have 2 other specials ready, though. We'll see if they can do anything with this.
Yeah, I'm thinking that if Ikannot could get a little more coordination, a bit more like togetherness going, they could really get a strong push going, because they almost had it just a while ago. They seem to be really holding mid-rail, but the one is trying to stop that by using his bomb rush. He manages to take 1 down, and you're already like that. The map is already purple again.
Yeah, that suction bomb rush definitely damaging. We see now he's pushing in. Good trade for the one there. They've got good control up in their spawn. The splashdown comes down. This could be it.
Yeah, this could be it.
I think this might be it.
All right, a knockout on the side of Eclipse. Right now, I think what we need to see from Ikannot's side is that they need to really work on setting up a strong defense. As I could see from the overhead, they had beacons on the mid. They were at least holding a very, very solid defense. And if Ikannot can break through that and hold a good defense of their own, I think they will definitely have a better chance of beating Eclipse.
I think also popping those specials early when they didn't really need to, because they were able to go in and get map control without those. Eclipse was already 3 down, and they ended up popping a Stingray a little early, so we hope we'll see that. Up next here, though, we've got Clam Blitz on Inkblot Art Academy. Inspector, what do you think about this?
Personally, I feel like that Clam Blitz is still a mode that's a little bit new right now. Like even for veterans that are in community, that everyone still knows, even though the maps are new, that everyone knows how tower control works and how Rainmaker works. So right now, everyone's still kind of floundering around for Clam Blitz. Anything, it's definitely one of those anything can happen mode, because I'm sure you've experienced before where you're trying to get, you know, the clams into your own basket, and then suddenly someone's already reached your side of the map and has thrown a clam in your own basket, and so you're having to turn around and go back to your own spawn.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very. It is definitely very new, and I think a lot of people are giving it a lot of flack because we just don't know it. And you have to understand, you know, we have 2 years, almost 3 years now of experience with these other 3 modes, and then this one we've had for a month. So it's not, you know, right around a month. So
do you feel it requires more teamwork than the others?
Definitely. I think it definitely is communication and coordinating specials. You know, Bubbles obviously are very strong on that. Baller is also very strong. So I think that all of those things being paired together, it just comes down to a lot more teamwork than the other modes, which what makes it so awful in solo for some people.
I'm really interested to see how the meta will kind of shift now that Bubbles are seeming to be weaker. I think you've seen plenty of times where Bubbles will be used to get a push into someone's basket. And so with Bubbles being a bit of a slightly weaker special, they're easier to pop now in this research patch. I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing an emergence of different specials or if Bubbles will still remain around.
Speaking of different, we see an H3 come out from the 1. I think that's very interesting. We see some more Ninja Squid. Both sides have a Forge, which is, you know, obviously for those bubbles, it's always good. We got the 52 with a Baller. And it looks like right now it's just going to be a fight for mid. That's 2 down on the side of Ikannot. 3 down.
That's a wipe on Ikannot even already. Eclipse is about to push in, and currently we see those bubbles still around.
Coming around. We see it already broken. They're popping in those clams. Got to stop the bleeding here really soon.
Yeah, one of the weird thing about Clam Blitz is that since the objective technically has it has a set time, but as long as you can keep throwing clams into that basket, you can hold the enemy in their side of the map a lot longer, which can really be hurtful in trying to make a comeback since you have to have a really strong hold.
Yeah, and now we see over here, again, 2 down for Not Even. 3 down again. It's looking rough, trying to pass some clams. So you see, the nice thing about Clam Blitz is that you can pass each of your objective, essentially, to another person who might have a better vantage point or something like that as they push in.
3 down on Eclipse right now. Hopefully we can see Ikannot get a bit more control of mid. Seems like we're just waiting for people to get their specials. They're getting clams. I feel like what's the good word for this? I guess we can call it a problem for now, is that some people can focus, like kind of how in the other mode you try to kill everyone first and then push the objective. I feel like Clam Blitz can be a bit awkward in that you want to get also work on the objective while also trying to take down your enemies. Because then everyone will be wiped and you'll have no clams, and by that time you get enough for a ball, the enemies respawn by then.
I think a lot of teams find themselves in that situation, say, okay, we got 3 down, let's go, and you don't have anything to run with. And I think that's been the issue here with Ikannot Even, and it's partially because whenever they're getting 3 down, they're on the defensive getting that. So they have to go back in and paint up mid entirely just to even think about starting push.
Right now, I think we're just still seeing the good hold that I said that Eclipse is really putting up. They're not giving any room for Ikannot to really get back into mid to get them pushed. You can see that people were sticking around in their plat and just inking mid. They weren't moving because like, hey, you got a decent lead. Why do I have to go anywhere for the time being?
Exactly. So we see that Ikannot Even also do not touch the basket on Eclipse's side here. I think that really shows that the aggression that they're putting on, the amount of attacks that they put on Ikannot's basket has just been unrelenting for them. You see, you're not respecting the bubbles there too.
Yeah, like even though the bubbles are enough, you still have to respect that they do a lot of damage if they are popped, or even if you touch them.
If the one can get this in, that's game.
Oh,
so close.
Clutch save from Mamba. Good job. Able to hold this offer to their team a little bit longer. Hopefully they are able to, we can see Ikannot start to get a bit more map control, get their specials, get like some clams, and hopefully get some points on the timer.
It looks like they just have them completely pincered over on this side. And they don't seem to, there's not a whole lot of direction going for this team right now. And we see it again, they go down, they go 2 down.
Eclipse doing a good job of kind of like sticking to each other, also being able to kind of stick together, and also just clean up each other after if they see one of them is trying to get killed. I can speak, I promise.
And I think, again, this might be
not
quite.
So close.
And see, that's the thing. You can go in and get that push by yourself potentially, but if you're not coordinated, that's all down again. And DJs can come in here, throw that ball in. They only need 15 more points to really clutch it.
3 down on Ikannot's side.
This ball is going to win it for him if they get it in.
Yep, that ball will do it. And with that is a knockout from Eclipse. Great play from both sides. Like I said, I still think we just need to see a bit more of, like you said, direction in their coordination in their pushes to get Ikannot on their feet and on the objective.
Yeah. So it is 2-0 Eclipse right now. We see DJ coming out with 24 KA. Oh my goodness. So I think we see where Ikannot was losing out there, and it seems like they really need to keep an eye on where DJ is, and they need to start shutting that down.
Right now we are going into Splatzone's Kelp Dome, an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of Kelp Dome. I always feel kind of claustrophobic on it because you've got the grates above you, and they can come from anywhere. And I always like to hold the court area, and they always come in from garden and try to pick me off. But I think if they can pick up their special coordination on this map, I really think Ikannot can bring this back and start something for themselves.
Kelp Dome is a bit, I guess, weird in that you definitely need to have like all your avenues covered, or else it's going to be really hard to push back in or even like hold people out, because you can get flanked pretty easily if you're not watching one spot, which can be said for a lot of maps, but I feel like Kelp Dome in particular can be kind of hard to get back in, and you really want to set up a solid hold.
For sure. Yeah, it definitely comes down to that communication again. I think is a big thing, because if you're not watching garden behind you, that is probably the most popular flank point, I would say. You come in from there, if you have one coming in from there and you don't call that out, they can easily get 2, if not 3 people, and really hold that down. It just ruins your push entirely.
Right now, I'm wondering if we'll see any like long range on this one. Long range, I feel, is still pretty good on Kelp Dome in either the form of like a jet or even a heavy, especially since we have seen a heavy buff, but I'm not really sure if any players on either of these teams play heavy. I haven't seen really any like super long range out of anyone so far. I think the longest range we've seen is the Forge, and Forge is pretty solid on this map. Bubbles can be a little wonky because of the grates, but we see here as we get into game 3, and we see a Forge coming out again. You actually see a Forge on both sides, and the Umbrella making its triumphant return at this tournament. As we saw Phlox earlier with it, and now the One coming out. I'm seeing an interesting choice in Ross, deciding to actually go with the Charger. Everyone has their, I guess you could say, feelings about the Charger in this game, but I definitely see it as an interesting choice, and I'm really excited to see how it goes.
Ross has always been a very solid Charger, in my opinion, and I know, of course, you definitely have your strong feelings on Charger, being a Charger main in Splatoon 1 yourself. You see the One holding down 2 people right there for a while, and that's just the power of Umbrella. I think that people forgot how to deal with it, really. And they just kind of rush it down forward, which is not what you need to do. You need to try to circumvent that. You see Ross here trying to hold back against the rope. That nice bomb.
Nice bomb. Right now, it's just Eclipse just constantly holding them out with specials, walling them out. You have to see Ikannot get some coordination. Right now, they're just kind of rushing in on their own. But 2 down on Eclipse's side. Let's see if Meat can make something work.
Meat had a good pick on DJ there. That takes out a lot of their aggression. You see him come around on the One. He gets another pick on the One.
zone's almost covered. Nice cap on the side of Ikannot. Now, like I said, we just need to see them have that hold, but already Eclipse is pushing back in with specials and kills.
They need to get the map control around that perimeter because otherwise they're going to be able to circle around them and shark the entire time. That's 3 down for Ikannot, and it looks like they're locked out once again here.
Right now, we're just seeing Eclipse once again hold up that solid defense, and it really just seems that Ikannot is kind of struggling just to get out of their spawn. We're going to see a flank, actually, from the one. We're excited to see how that goes, and a good Stingray, just 3 down on Ikannot, using those specials and just the good spots of holding that defense to keep Ikannot out of the zone.
And that was effectively another wipe. They've got 30 seconds counting down here now. They don't have a lot of time. I think this is going to be pretty much their last push. You see Ross watching, and
oh, man. Lovely snipe from Ross.
The Lunar just got a little too aggressive, and I think that's 3 down. It looks like it's about to be it.
All right. Great and excellent play. Just excellent holdouts and lockouts from the side of Eclipse. Yeah. Great play. Exciting to see.
We saw Ikannot start to come alive there that last game, and they really started to push in, but it just seemed like they couldn't get the map. They couldn't coordinate the specials well enough, and it really held them back a lot.
Yeah, like for that one time where we saw the forward just kind of go in the bubbles with their own and not using that same special, that special coordination that we were seeing from Eclipse, I think that was really kind of holding them back. And if we could see more of, could have seen that or that from that, I think they would have been able to hold Eclipse out a bit longer. Absolutely.
So again, if you are just joining us, this is Splatoon 2 at G5 in California, Oakland, Cali. And I have here with me the amazing Spectre.
Hello, and I got here Bob.
Yeah, and I am Bob, or Bob the Hopeful is cool. Most people don't like to say that whole thing, so they just stick with Bob.
It's a lot to say.
It is. It's a mouthful. I mean, don't judge me. I made it when I was like 12. It's fine. But we're going to see who's coming up here next. I think there's probably still a couple matches going on. So let's take a look here at this bracket that we've got for Group B. That's the only one that hasn't changed.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, there's been like a lot of switching around. My team got switched around. Everything's getting moved around. It's been like mostly accommodating for a lot of travel delays. There's a lot of snow in a lot of parts of America, and so people are kind of having a lot of trouble getting here, unfortunately. But it looks like, actually, if I'm looking at the thing, Olive might be taking the stage.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have Team Olive, and we have yet to see who the other team is that they are facing. So in this group, even though we saw how stacked Group A was, Group B is no slouch by any means. You've got Team Olive that most people know nowadays, one of the top teams, if not the top team in Europe, that's traveled all the way over here. We see Eclipse as well. Again, we just saw their showing. They're a very solid team, hold together very well. You've got Legacy.
Really excited to see Legacy, honestly. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're fine. Legacy, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see things from Legacy. Like, they are honestly a really good team, really solid team. Hopefully, I don't know if I actually think they're on the stage. I think this is about to be Olive versus Legacy right now. Really exciting, really exciting match we've got coming up right now, folks.
Legacy, I think their strongest suit actually is their special coordination, because what they will do is they will push in on you, and or if they get locked out or pushed out, they will build up 3 specials and just crash in so hard with that, and it really hurts. So I think that's a thing that's going to be beneficial for them. And then, of course, we have Team Olive over here. You've got Dude, you've got Soren, you've got Sendao, and you've got Nike. Several of them who have never traveled over here for any LAN event. So it's going to be very exciting to see them in person perform as well as they do online.
Yeah, like last night they were all making their strategies and such, and I was just kind of sitting around. But they were making their strategies. They're definitely a very serious team, take this very seriously. But they're also like a bunch of really cool guys.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have fun with this game if you're going to be a solid team. I think it's friends first, and then once you find that good group of friends, then you become a good team afterwards.
Also, sorry everyone, Sindhu does not have his bongos.
Does he have a burger though?
No.
But yeah, so we see for Legacy, let's see who our lineup is today. With Legacy,
I think we've got Hype is on here today. Yeah, we've got Hype, Chill, Raz, and Dan.
Nice. Okay, so Hype is one of their aggressors on the team. Always is very solid, pushing in and really getting those kills that they need. Chill, I believe, usually is hanging back a little bit more. Usually does, like, they have Brella, they have the Rapid. They're more support, along with Raz as well, who goes heavy splatling and zap. They do a lot more of the support, and then Dan and Hype would be pushing in and being more their aggressors.
Oh, right now, oh, okay, so we can hear people.
Let's see here. So we've got, for our first couple maps in here, we start out with one that everybody knows, and that is Splat Zone's Walleye.
True neutral on the alignment chart. It's not good and it's not bad. It's actually pretty great though. It seems like one of the, like, I guess the final destination of Splatoon.
Right. I think the thing that that has always been an issue for me with Walleye is that it is very easy to get locked out, and once you get locked out, it is extremely difficult to get back in. There's not a lot of room to paint for specials, to use those to push back in, which is extremely important in doing that. So we'll see how, if Legacy does get locked out, how they're going to go around that and try and circumvent it.
I find the shift between, I don't know. I'm here now.
It's right there.
I find the shift between, I guess, Splatoon 1 Walleye zones and Splatoon 2 Walleye zones to be very interesting.
Yep.
Oh, am I about to get kicked off? Dang, feels bad, man.
But with Walleye zones, I think overall the zone seems to be a bit smaller.
I feel like in some respects, like a lot of the maps feel very small, or like even smaller than they were in the first game.
Okay. So it looks like we're gonna have. We're gonna be having Spectre stepping off the mic here, and we're gonna have 9 whole grains coming in. So Spectre.
Sorry, I was filling in for the god. I was the understudy.
Go ahead and give a bit of a plug. Let everybody know who you are, what you do.
Oh well, I'm Spectre. I am the captain of 2 Moons, and you actually might be able to start seeing us around soon. Finally got some tryouts done. And so I'm just kind of here, actually. No one from 2 Moons came this time, so I'm pretty alone. But I'm still really excited to play, so I'll be seeing you guys around later. All right. I got to go 9 whole grains coming in. The god.
Thanks so much, Spectre.
No problem.
Appreciate it.